are we really doing this again? You know, are we seriously?
I just saw what it was.
Are we doing this again? Haven't we done this? How many times have we talked about this wine? And it always works. You guys always buy buckets of it. Well, that's because it's one of the greatest Chardonnay values on the planet. It has been for 23, 8, what was the first one? 15, 16, almost a decade, 8, 9 years now. We've been running this up the flagpole, and it just keeps getting more refined every year. You know, this project came out of the gates, right? What, 97 point score or something? Maybe a 98 from Suckling or something back then. And boom, on the map. You know, kind of like what Spectator did with Rombauer Chardonnay, you know, back 30 years ago. And created this thing where just people knew it. It was an instant brand. So cool when that happens. But it doesn't happen that often. And the key is, when that happens, what you have to do is you have to continue to make great wine. And fortunately, in this situation, this wasn't some kind of like bullshit, one-off label. This wasn't a situation where like, oh, we're going to create this, build it up, and then we're going to use grapes from coastal areas or whatever the hell, right? This was never the agenda here. Adriana Catena and Alejandro Vigil, always from the start, were dedicated towards just extreme quality with this wine. It comes from a single vineyard. It comes from the Adriana Vineyard, owned by the Catena family, where Alejandro Vigil, as we've talked about in the past, is the chief winemaker, the big Kimosabe, the big man on campus there. This is his label, along with Adriana. It's their label together. And they get to source all the know-how and resources of Catena to produce their micro boutique wines. It's sensational. And because neither of them are stressed about their day jobs, they get to charge really reasonable prices for most of the wines, which is like a double whammy. Anchorman. Yeah. Anyway, getting back to it. When you have the Adriana Vineyard, which by the way, this is the same vineyard that makes the Catena Stones and Bones Chardonnays, those 100-point, $130 iconic world-class Chardonnays from there. This is the same vineyard. Different parcels, but the same vineyard. Same soils, elevations there, it's all there. And the key is, once Alejandro and Adriana found the formula, they really haven't futzed with it too much. What we have seen mainly is a broadening of the texture of this wine. Maybe at the start it was a touch too vertical, maybe a touch too salty, maybe a touch too crispy. And they've managed to kind of soften the wine out, even it out a bit, while still maintaining all the complexity here. And why is this wine complex, you might ask? It's Argentina Chardonnay. Why would it be complex? I know it's a thought of a lot of you that drink white Burgundy or Russian River Valley Chardonnay or Overt or some kind of stuff. This is a unique situation. That high elevation, we're talking almost 5,000 foot elevation. We're talking these rocky, stony soils with lots of white soil in it. We are talking top clones. We are talking amazing winemaking. We are talking, he ages a portion of the wine with the flor yeast, F-L-O-R. This is a yeast that happens naturally when you don't necessarily top up a barrel. And this is the same flor yeast that we get from some places like the Jura, which a lot of you are very stoked about right now, those Chardonnays from the Côtes de Jura. All that comes together in a wine that sells for $22 friggin' dollars, right? 35% new oak on here, by the way. 500-liter barrels, these larger barrels. 9 months in wood, native yeast fermentation, 35% new wood. All of this means this wine should be ... more. And it's not. So let's dig in. 23, warm vintage. The flor is so much more subtle now than it was at the start. At the start, it's like, is this Jura? There's almost a little that kind of pheno quality to it. Nowadays, this wine has really dialed it in. So you almost get the tactile feel of the flor and less of the obvious kind of flory characters, you know, those sherry-esque characters that sometimes pop through. This is just a screaming value. The wine is 35% new oak, but not a stitch oaky. So complete, refined, beautiful mid-palate, great length, and an easygoing demeanor. Like I said, it's one of the main things here, especially maybe with the warmer vintage. They've managed to coax this wine into this, like, you love me, kind of this Sally Field thing with this wine that it didn't have right at the start. It shocked at the start. It was like, look at me, jazz hands. And now the wine's kind of settling and going like, I'm Enemigo. That shit's over with, man. Just drink me. And yes, El Enemigo Chardonnay, I will drink you. 96 points for Suckling again, 94 from Venice, 93 from Luis Gutierrez at RobertParker.com. Calls it, of course, a wine that kicks so far above its price point, it's not even funny. All that's true, all of it's amazing. Still $21.98, still the one, El Enemigo Chardonnay 2023. Click and buy this wine, like us, and subscribe and drink Enemigo.